Hi, this is Bernard Harris, and welcome to B Talk. Today we have with us Finnish basketball legend Taru Tuukkanen. What's up, Taru?
What's up?
Nothing. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good, good, good. Thanks for taking this time to come and talk to us. I know you've been busy with your new job, and you seem to be doing well with that.
Yeah, well, thanks for the invite. Yeah, I'm loving my new job and doing pretty well in it.
Good, good. You've had a long basketball career. Uh, Starting with, I'm going to start with Xavier. You had an outstanding career at the University, Xavier University. You were you've been you are a Hall of Fame player. You were drafted by the New York Liberty of the WNBA. You played in France, Spain, Italy, Morocco, and Finland, where you've been Finals MVP and you won the championship. And you've also played 106 over 165 national team games. That's a lot.
That's a lot of years.
That's a lot. That's a lot of years, and that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of accomplishments. You had a really outstanding career, and it doesn't matter if it's we're talking about men or women. It's just an outstanding career. Um, what got you started in basketball?
I think my parents just took me to the practice because I was really tall. I was playing soccer. I loved playing soccer when I was younger, but I was 10 years old when they took me to basketball, and then that kind of was there as well. I played a lot of different sports, but basketball was one of them. It didn't really like hit me. I think I was maybe ninth grade or like high school when it started to get a bit more like basketball. Basketball was all I wanted.
Okay, what did a lot of people bug you about playing because you were tall? I know they bugged me about it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's always those comments from early on, but that's
Okay,
good.
what other sports did you play?
I played ringette and
Okay, yeah.
and yeah, then soccer was my main what I liked the most, I think, when growing up.
Okay.
And then some
And you
bit Finnish
you
baseball and
yeah.
just tried a little bit of everything, I think, guess.
Okay, okay. I started out myself as a baseball player. Baseball was
Oh,
my first sport.
yeah.
And like I said, I kept growing and growing, and people kept bugging me about playing basketball. So that's how I got into it. Who
Yeah.
um who was your favorite player growing up?
Kari-Pekka Klinga.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
think I think he was a lot of people's favorite player.
Yeah, he was good. And I was Topo was my club when I was younger. I was very Topo orientated. That was the only club and played there and was fangirling the men's team and they had their good years those years as well. So it was a lot of fun.
How did you have the opportunity to go to Xavier University?
There was another Finnish girl before me, Susanna Strömberg, and her dad was actually had some role in the Finnish national team. So he kept coming to the national team camps wearing all this Xavier gear and showing me stuff and being like, "Hey, go to Xavier." And then I think he was doing the same to the coaches over there. So then we got into talking, and that's kind of how it happened.
And you had four outstanding seasons there. How was the experience? Just the university campus life.
It was the best experience ever. I always say that that's without that, I doubt I would have had a long basketball career or anything like that. That's gave me a start to that and just general 4 amazing years. Absolutely loved it, and I'm always recommending to everybody to go there and live the experience.
I guess you've made some lifelong friends.
Yeah, for sure, lifelong friends, but also like I grew so much there uh, as a person as well, and just the independence and everything. I was a really shy young girl here before, and that experience kind of got me to open up and speak a little bit as well. And I don't know. I think it gave me a really strong base for everything that came after.
Okay, cool. And you finished your career there as the second all-time leading scorer and third in all-time leading rebounds. And you ended up being elected into the Basketball Hall of Fame. How did you feel about going into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, that was obviously amazing. It's I love the university and I love to go back there after graduating, and then that kind of an honor to be there now, have my name and picture there up in the walls. It feels amazing, of course.
And you think the experience at Xavier basketball experience helped you further your career?
Oh, for sure. I had no idea. I never thought that I would play basketball professionally when I was here. I didn't even think it there for the first couple of years, but then during the senior year, it's just started to be like an option. And but I was clueless really. I just lived every day because I loved doing it. I don't think I ever had this goal of becoming a professional basketball player. It just all kind of happened.
Okay, okay. And after graduating from Xavier and ending your career there, you were drafted by the New York Liberty of the
Yeah,
WNBA, but you
yeah.
actually never played for them. I read you had some problems. What happened?
I mean, I wouldn't say problems. I just don't think I was ready. I loved Xavier and I loved everything about it. And then I had to leave before graduation and before all the last weeks there to go to training camp. And obviously at that time, well, I mean, it's still really hard to get in the league, but at that time there were even less teams and less spots on the rosters. So the people who were there obviously didn't want to give their spot up for a rookie coming in. So no one was very friendly, and it was just really hard. Like I think mentally to go there every day. We had really long practices and just I don't know. I my mind was at Xavier and I wanted to be back there to finish school and graduate from there. And then so I wasn't even when I got cut, I was more excited than anything. So I guess
Yeah,
I just didn't like understand.
well,
And I
it
just
happens.
wanted
It
to.
happens sometimes. I mean, going into the professional life of sports is tough. It's tough, and other players see
Yeah,
you as coming in and trying to take their job. So it's tough.
yeah.
But I guess the WNBA has made a lot of improvements and grown as a league from those days up until now.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Yeah.
and while we're on the WNBA, Awa Kuir from Finland is now in the WNBA. How do you think she's doing?
I think she's doing really well. I think people were expecting her to get a lot of minutes right away and do well, but it's not very like realistic. She's probably the youngest player in the league, and she still has a long way to go. But obviously, I think like just the kind of person she is and how she's been doing there, she's built a name for herself, even though she hasn't played that many minutes yet. But I think she's gonna have a big role there.
What do you think makes her special as a player?
Well, obviously, she's her athletic ability, her height and athletic ability combined with like her basketball IQ is what makes her special. I think it's not just about like yeah she can dunk, but that's not the only thing. Like she can also pass and shoot, and she's a pretty complete player.
Would you have liked to have played against her in your prime?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I played against her a bunch of games here in Finland when she was in HBA, but
Okay.
obviously I was old already. But yeah, I mean, I just think it would have been awesome to play in the same era in a way to play together on the national team or something.
And again, sticking with the WNBA, Brittany Griner, one of the best players in WNBA history, is now locked up in a Russian jail for getting caught with some illegal drugs. So it's said. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I've been following it a little bit. It's really rough. I mean, obviously it looks like it's all happening. Just she's just like some political piece that they're using. I don't think obviously nobody knows like what the crime is that she's committed, if there really is anything being, if she had anything or if it was put there, or nobody knows. But whatever it was, obviously her penalty that she's having right now is way bigger than what it should be. So it's really sad story, and
Yeah,
sad for
it's
her that now she's been kept there for a very, very long time.
it's tough because she had been playing there for like 7 seasons and
Yeah,
and done a really good job inside basketball and outside of basketball from what I understand. So that's a tough situation. Hopefully something can be worked out and she can go home. But
yeah.
that remains to be seen. You've played 165 national team games. Am I correct? Or is it
Yes, you
more?
are. No, I think that's it.
Okay, okay. That was enough, huh? That's a
Yeah.
long that's a lot of games. That's a long career in itself. How was that experience?
I mean, it was great. I always enjoyed playing on the national team. I spent every summer playing on it for like 20 years. So, but of course, I would have liked for us to make it to the some championship, European championships or something, but we never did. And that's sad. but but still, it was a great experience, and have a lot of friends from those days. And I think we had a great time. We had some big wins and stuff, but never enough.
Yeah, those were kind of rough years for women's national team basketball. Do you see it getting better now and taking a step forward?
I hope so. I think it's still early to see. Obviously, the competition is big also on the women's side and the European level. But if they don't, like on the men's side, they added teams to that make it to the European Championships, so it made it a little bit easier. But on the women's side, they haven't yet done that. So getting through these qualification groups is still very difficult, I think.
Okay, but you think the organization here is working towards getting better?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like everything they're doing in terms of practice facilities and giving opportunities for the players, then all of that has moved forward a lot. So I think everybody now who wants to go up from Finland or go somewhere, they have a program for it, and all the steps and people to help you, and none of that was there before. So for sure there's every chance possible.
Okay, okay. Well, it. I've watched a couple of games and it seems to be improving step by step. You've played in a lot of places on a lot of teams. France, Italy, Spain. You even played in Morocco, which I find to be unique. How was Morocco?
Yeah, well, I was in Morocco, but I was playing for Jordan. So there was this one when I finished the season, my agent said that there's this Arabic championship coming up and they were looking for a player, like Jordan's team was looking for a player. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, there's basketball, I want to go. So I signed with them and then the championship was held in Morocco. So went there and I played with Jordan. It
Okay,
was very interesting, very different experience from anything else. So I don't know. I think it was good to see.
okay. So you overall you enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. It
How
was a
long?
short. It was just a short, a couple
Okay,
of weeks championship. It was only that, so it wasn't long,
okay,
but
okay,
still kind of eye opening because it was countries playing countries, Iraq, Iran, like Syria, these countries that are in war, and it was very different in how they how they played, and also was very like enriching to. Like I remember going out for coffee with the coach of Iraq for like 3 hours, just listening to his stories on life in there. So it was very interesting tournament.
okay, okay. Well, one of life's experiences.
Yes.
What throughout your career can you remember what has been your most memorable event in basketball? What sticks
Uh,
out in your mind?
Probably senior year of college NCAA tournaments, playing Tennessee for a spot in the Elite Eight. Tennessee was number one and Pat Summit coaching, and they were very famous and had all these famous players. And we came from Cincinnati. Nobody knew us, but we were just dead sure that we were going to win and we were going to beat them. And it was also already like talk about before the game because we had said that we wanted Tennessee to win their side of the bracket so we would get to face them. And Pat Summit was telling in the ESPN and newspapers, be careful what you wish for. And it was kind of like and then the game was televised on ESPN and obviously Tennessee was the favorite, but we just were so confident and we beat them by 15 points and made it to the Elite Eight for the first time in school history. So that was something amazing that I'll never forget.
Okay, okay. And you still have a video copy of that game?
I don't know. It probably was some VHS videos and all that's gone. So
They probably still have it somewhere in some archive.
yeah,
You should try to get that. You should try to get that.
yeah, I should.
And show it to your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, mommy used to be a bad girl. uh, how do you see Susiyangi itself is really popular. Uh, does that carry over into the local basketball chorus league for both men and women? Do you think that popularity carries over?
I think it really hasn't carried over much until now, but hopefully, obviously, it will. It's so seeing it brings more people into basketball all the time. So now it's just like kind of step by step. Now try to get those people who love to watch Susie and follow them all over to also watch basketball during the season. And I'm sure that it brings more fans for basketball as well in general. I don't know exactly like the numbers in the league, if it has brought more yet to the stands during the season, but hopefully it will.
Okay. On the women's side, chorus league, um, do you see any improvement changes in the league?
Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, hopefully players get better all the time and with three Americans in all the teams, I think the level of play is pretty good. but it's hard to say in general then, because some years we get a lot of good Finnish players, but now it's been a trend more of these Finnish players who they want to go also play professionally and leave Finland, and which is great. It's obviously great for their careers and for Finnish basketball, but at the same time then it's away from the actual Finnish league. But I mean, I think the league's good. I think it's interesting, competitive basketball games.
How difficult is it to go from playing in either men or women, playing in the chorus league, the top level in Finland, to getting a job in some other countries in Southern Europe?
I think it's difficult. It's a big jump. Um, so I think you need to build your career like step by step. You leave Finland, maybe you go to some league there in between, and then just have a goal of making it to top league, France or Spain or all these like top leagues in Europe. That should be the goal. If Finnish national team wants to do well, we need more players playing at the top level in Europe.
Who do you think? Here's one for you. Who do you think on the men? So let's start with the men. Who's Finland's best ever player in your opinion?
Best ever in Europe.
No, no, no. Best ever in Finland. Who's the best ever Finnish basketball player for men?
I don't know. It's hard to compare because it's different eras and different kinds of careers. I don't know who's the best ever. There's so many good ones.
Would you consider yourself the best ever on the women's side?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Obviously, there's Lea Hakala with a million national team games and championships and everything. I think our careers have been a little different in terms of like I have probably have a really long career outside of Finland. She also played outside of Finland, but then she had a really long career in Finland as well. And obviously she did really well with the national team for many years. And in her era, they also played in the European Championships and stuff. So it's just different kinds of careers.
So we would just be political here, politically correct, and say that you two are for sure the top two female players ever, and you probably would go into the top 4 or 5 overall basketball players ever, men or women. So you would have to be in the top 5. So, in my opinion, so
Well, that's great. I think that everybody has their own opinion, so I don't know, but that's
yeah.
great. Good to hear.
Well, you're still playing on the top level at age 44. That takes a lot. What do you think has been the secret to your longevity?
Well, I think one part is just the game that I play. My strengths have never been in athleticism, or my game has never been based on jumping higher or running faster than somebody else. So those things kind of go away as you get older. But with me, obviously, I'm a lot slower now than I was before. But since it was never the one thing that made me successful, it hasn't affected that much. The things that I do well, I can still do despite losing some of the edge, like strength wise
And
and
I guess you've never had any major injuries.
yes, that helps as well.
Yeah, that really helps. So I'm gonna knock on some wood for you.
Yeah.
um, what motivates you to play at this age?
Well, to be honest, right now I'm I'm debating it for the first time ever up to this point. I have always, as soon as the season has been over, I've known that I will play again next season without a doubt. Now there has been a lot of doubt this summer, so I'm still not very clear on what's going to happen, and it's getting close to starting the season already. So I'm going to have to decide soon. But I think now, since I have this other job, real adult job, that takes up a lot of time, and that I also have the same kind of passion for that I've always had for basketball, then that's one thing that kind of helps. I always thought that it would be very difficult for me to quit basketball, that it's just been the love of my life, like for a lot of years, and that's the only thing I ever wanted to do. So I was dreading the time that my career comes to an end and I won't be able to play anymore, that I didn't know how I was gonna deal
Have
with
you
that. But actually now finding this new thing to do and another passion, it's doesn't feel that difficult at all. But
and it's
still,
probably
obviously, it's a big decision.
not so hard on your body.
Yeah.
Have you been working out this summer at all?
Yes, I have some, not enough. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know. It's obviously been a big part. So basketball will continue to be a big part of my life, but just still debating on whether play in the top league or no.
Will you do any coaching?
No.
You said that quick.
Yeah. I don't have any time for coaching right now, and I coached when I was pregnant a couple of years. Uh, as of now, I don't feel like that's the thing. When I was coaching, all I wanted to do was be on the court and play, and that's probably why I'm still playing, because that's the thing that I have the passion for. Maybe once it's over, I'll look at things differently and just somehow want to get on the court, and coaching will be the way. But as of now, it's not. I've actually refed as well, and refing is something that I am more interested in than coaching right now.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. You have
Mhm.
you have two kids, am I correct?
Yes, two girls,
How old are they?
6 and 12.
Do you think either one of them will play basketball?
Well, they're both playing now, but as a hobby, kind of. I don't know. I don't know if either one will play more than just a little hobby. Then we'll see. Remains to be seen. I don't see either one having passion for it right now. So
Okay, okay. Well, there's like you said, there's other sports and other things to do. Basketball is not for everybody.
yeah, obviously, I'm hoping that it will change, but but as of now, I don't know.
Will they be tall?
Yeah, at least the younger one is a lot taller than everyone in her class, so I think she will be tall. The older one's kind of medium.
Okay, okay. So most likely she will somehow slide over to basketball.
Yeah, she's playing now, and hopefully she'll grow into loving it.
What advice would you give to younger players that are starting out? Well, let's say teenagers or whatever, playing basketball. What advice would you give them if they want to try to have a professional career?
Just dream big and work hard for it. I Obviously it's all about that, spending time with the ball. You
Yeah,
can never do enough of that. And a lot of times it's like, I think people think that, oh, I've worked so hard, but worked so hard for somebody's completely different than worked so hard for somebody else. So just make sure you have your ball with you all the time, and the more you spend time with it, the better better you will be. And of
how would
course,
you
watching basketball as well helps. I think watching watching the great ones helps a lot.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. You have to put in some time watching the game.
Yeah.
How would you tell them to deal with their disappointments?
It's part of the game and it's part of life. It's going to be disappointments no matter what you do. And it's important to just take them, learn from them, and move forward.
That's excellent advice. And with that, I'm gonna say thank you for coming and sharing some of your experiences with us and sharing some time with us. And we hope to see you on the floor this season
No, thank
because
you. We'll
because
see.
as we discussed earlier, that's the only way you're gonna get to break my record is to play.
Well,
So you got
how much do I need to play more to break your record?
52.
Oh,
Was my
well,
last, but in between, I retired at 47. I started to coach, and then I was coaching a team that had some injuries. So I came back and started to play at 52.
oh, I got a place to go still.
But I can tell you that the 52 was painful.
I bet.
That was painful because I didn't have any preseason or summer work. I kind of started it in the middle of the season, or let's say right before Christmas, and
Yeah,
so it was just to get back into it and so forth. It was painful,
I bet.
but at least I can say I did it.
That's right.
So so you got a couple more years to go. So we'll see
Well,
how.
maybe I can quit now and then come back in a
Yeah,
few.
yeah, you can do that. Come back and play a couple of games. There you go. But
Yeah,
you got to stop. But you have to stop at 47,
yeah, that might
and
be too
then
long.
and then come back. So you got a couple more years left in
Yeah, I might just let you keep your record.
you. Okay, we will see. We'll see. I hope to see you playing. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, see you.
See ya. Bye.
Yep. Bye bye.